putting things out there.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, even now, has that scenery changed?
I think in some organizations, yes, some of the leaders who were a little bit more agile made it work. But I gave that story just to basically be able to say, as a leader, at any point in time, you have to be intentional about how you lead. So not only knowing the situation, it can't just be focused on the situation. It's got to be focused on your people. The best leaders have followers, and that's what makes them leaders. They're not just managers. And so then you have to look at how those individuals can thrive in that situation and help ensure that you make that happen. Create your plan, and then you got to execute it. That's the most successful leaders.
They're intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Gaines has asked, how can entrepreneurs tap into DEI in a corporate space?
I've seen a lot of this too, where people have started their consulting companies where they are going in, meeting with the CEOs and creating opportunities for them to consult with them. The organization that I'm with now, when I first joined, they were working with a small independent consulting company, and she did just that. I don't think that they would be as successful or at the space where they are with DNI without having her help. So if you are a DEI practitioner, or if you have some foundational material that you can help support organizations, start doing that. Reach out, tap into your network. Do you need some insights on DEI, or do you know someone who's starting a strategy and they need some support? That's the best way that I would say to recommend for people to start.
All right, you heard it, Nicole. That's excellent advice. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's good advice. And you're right. I have heard people doing that independently, but that's good. Okay, so why do you believe there was such a mass exodus from the workplace?
It's just what we were talking about. You had leaders who were either focused on themselves and not their associates. They weren't showing them that they were respected, valued, and heard. They weren't taking the time to recognize them. And so people were like, if I'm going to take a look at my life, to me, I call it, and I think I heard somebody else coin this phrase. It wasn't the great resignation. It's the great realization. What is important to me? Is this how I want to spend my life? Is this person that I'm working for somebody who cares about me and shows me that I'm valued? Or are they all about working to please the higher ups? That's why you saw the mass exodus. And that's why it's still happening today, because leaders still haven't figured it out, that's what's turning people away.
Do you think it's a generational thing?
No, I don't. I don't.
Do you think it's a cultural thing?
In a lot of ways, you got to look at who's in leadership. And in a lot of ways, it is cultural. And it's those who have been successful and where they haven't had to kind of acquiesce to what needs to happen. And so they're continuing to do the same thing and working the same way. It's a new day, and it's going to continue to be a new day. I tell people all the time that this is not just